We back with some facts. Indeed that. All right. So a lot of you like to constantly still say we're not going to even say what you say. You're just ignorant. And with you being ignorant, I'm trying to inform you. But first, I want to give a special shout out to Sonia and Ian, to subscribers, fans that watch the show. I greatly appreciate you. I greatly appreciate everyone that reaches out to try to inform, because we are a network. We are a foundation. We are a group. We are a family to exchange knowledge and opinions. And with that being done, we get more shows. We get more evidence. We get more content that further shows us the integrity or lack of integrity in Formula One, drivers, teams, technical things that come up. Not just not episodes exposing things, but also episodes going over great things that will also happen in Formula One. But today is not a great day. Today is the day of fake ass champions. Alonso is a fake ass champion. Max Verstappen is a fake ass champion. This is not the first time that happened in Formula One, and I'm going to go over some things with you, and then you decide what you think, all right? So first, we're going to watch a little small documentary with some input commentary. Stay tuned, because after the documentary, I'm going to show you some article clippings that further substantiate the damn guilty, the underhanded, the scandals, and the lack of integrity in Formula One, and why I do not think they will take certain actions that will resolve what happened to Lewis Hamilton. Now, Lewis Hamilton at the end of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix said it has been manipulated. Well, this was not Lewis Hamilton's first time going through some type of situation like this. And let's go into it. Right here, Alonso, PK, the crash gate. Let's see what happened here, shall we? I think we shall.
Renault have admitted that they fixed last year's Singapore Grand Prix, but did they get away with it? Renault team principal Flavio Briatore and engineering boss Pat Symonds paid for it with their jobs, but the team is still in Formula One, and Fernando Alonso has kept the victory.
No fine.
So, following that, Alonso still has the victory. Now, I'm going to go over some things that we're going to ask or like questions at the end of this, but Alonso still has his victory, and evidently Renault has pulled off said stage situation like Red Bull might have.
For Renault. The penalty for Renault is disqualification, but suspended for 2 years. So what that comes down to is, provided they don't do something similar within 2 years, they don't have any problem.
I was genuinely relieved, as indeed every single member of the team was, because we all quite honestly thought this could be the end of our jobs. We've got to go home and start finding another way to pay a mortgage.
We now know what...
Now think about this. They end up in this situation where found guilty. People should have right off the bat been banned. Like, you do need to go find another job. If you do something to this magnitude, you do not belong in the sport. But see what happens.
What's happened? Nelson Piquet crashed on purpose so as to bring out the safety car. This wasn't spying.
Does that sound familiar? Piquet crashed on purpose. That brings about a reminiscence of Latifi to bring out the safety car.
On other teams or lying to the stewards. This was endangering spectators, marshals, and his own safety.
Similar line.
The only debate is whether the plan to crash deliberately was Piquet's idea or Pat Symonds. Each one blames the other, so someone is still not telling the truth. Nelson Piquet's actions allowed teammate Fernando Alonso to reach the front and win the race.
Myself and a lot of other people in the paddock last year, immediately after the race, suspected that there was something strange going on.
So now listen to that. We had several drivers after the World Championship say, Daniel Ricciardo, Vettel, several drivers wondering what was going on. What the hell is going on? This is not normal. Drivers here in this same situation, speculating and feeling like something corrupt has happened to have this end result.
You still count that race as a proper race victory for yourself?
Max?
I do.
Even though the team effectively manufactured it?
Well, I think that's interpretation. There are many interpretations how you can win the race. That was in very early stage of the race, and it was a long race to do. And You know, the car
That
was
sounds like
performing
Christian,
well.
don't it?
I did no mistakes.
Sounds a
and,
little bit like Christian
I still
Horner, huh?
continue.
The team may have got off lightly in the FIA court, but Renault have been hit in the pocket by the immediate withdrawal of title sponsor ING.
Now listen, just recently we had a chain sponsored of Oracle, like more so than the Red Bull on there. I just want to know, if things keep developing, will the main sponsor stay on board with Christian and Max, or will they pull out? Now, Oracle's already, you know, the head of Oracle's already been involved in some horrible shit anyway, if you go back and look at his history, so maybe not. Maybe they're aligned.
The financial services company didn't want to be associated with a team that cheats. In an ironic twist, Piquet's replacement Romain Grosjean spun in precisely the same place in the same way
There goes
here in
Grosjean.
practice yesterday. At least new Renault boss Bob Bell could see the funny side.
Your team's been embroiled in a race-fixing scandal. Your major title sponsor has walked out on you in the middle of the season. How's your first week as team boss going?
It can't get worse, can it? I can only look good in a situation like this, whatever I do, so we'll deal with it. We've dealt with a lot of ups and downs in the past. We are fundamentally strong, committed. Parent Renault are right behind us, and we're going to get through this, and we're going to demonstrate again to everybody that we can pull back and be at the top as we used to be.
By being
Which they never
granted
did
immunity
reach the
by
top.
the FIA in return for his
Renault's out of
evidence,
it anyway.
Nelson Piquet is
Except for,
free to
I
race
think-
again in Formula One.
Yo, if I'm not mistaken, Alpine, Alonso, who is currently still in Formula One, I think they're running the Renault power plant. I got to check it, but I think they're running the Renault power plant.
If he can find a team that wants to employ him. Pat Simmons admitted that he'd fixed the race with Piquet and has been banned from FIA Motorsport for 5 years. But after an anonymous whistleblower within the Renault team confirmed that Flavio Briatore knew about the plan, the FIA banned the Italian for life. Flavio's vowed to clear his name, but his downfall has been dramatic.
So I want to
The
know, we're going to see
flamboyant,
some people
charismatic
starting to
showman
be banned
whose world has collapsed.
eventually.
It's sad to see a career end like that.
Now
What else
listen to
can we
this
do?
guy.
Everyone watching is
Listen to
concerned.
this guy later
They wanna
on
know
in
if
the
this is
documentary
endemic in
to what he
Formula One.
says.
Is everyone cheating?
No, not at all. No, it's
Nico.
just, you know, there's always, everywhere you'll always find, it has been in the past, will be in the future individuals that do rubbish, you know, and you can't change that.
I'm sure
Now I want to know, in the next 4 years, 5 years, will things start surfacing about Christian, Massey, and Jonathan as far as manipulating and pulling a scandal in this race, and then we really get to it? Because things like that sometimes take time to develop, right? Either people within that circle, that syndicate, get pissed off with each other, and then other, like 3 people that's going to tell you the truth: kids, drunk people, and people that are angry. So we'll see.
the real racing fans, they love to see racing, they love to see battles, they love to see...
Lewis.
That's all from my experience from growing
man
up, that's what I
currently.
wanted to see. I didn't want to see all the other stuff. I wanted to see people racing wheel to wheel, touching if they had to.
Think about that. That's why Lewis was so passionate about when he finished that race. He had seen this before. He had been here before and physically been there when another scandal had taken place. And now he was at the center. Matter of fact, he was at the end point. He was at the tip's sword of a scandal taking place in 2021, causing him his 8th world championship.
At the end, the best drivers getting at the front and the best teams winning. And I'm sure the real racing fans out there really want to see that.
What does it mean for the future of Formula One?
I don't think it means anything. I think we now go on. We have problems from time to time. As long as we solve them and deal with them properly, that's fine.
The FIA
Evidently, they haven't dealt with it properly because it's happening again.
believe they've drawn a line under the whole affair. Whoever else has bent the rules in Formula One, Renault's will live on as one of the worst cases of cheating in sporting history. It remains to be seen if Formula
One of.
One has learnt its lesson, or are the demands for success too great? Someone will always be inclined to take the easy route to victory.
The easy route to victory. Someone will always be inclined to take the easy route to victory. Well, as it stands right now, that is Red Bull. As it stands for somebody will always, that is Christian, that is Jonathan, that is Massey. So it's like they really don't care. So this might kind of answer your questions to what really will come of this. Unless things intensify, unless things really start coming out, because we know something was already done wrong. It's already been said to a degree. Like a half part of the lie has already come out. When will the full-blown truth of the entire corrupt scandal come out? So we're going to cover these two articles right here, all right? First with the Renault. This prompted the FIA to investigate the events of the 2008 Singapore race, and less than fortnight later, Renault F1 were found guilty of race fixing. The team was subsequently handed a 2-race ban, while team boss Flavio was issued a lifetime ban from F1, which was later reduced to a suspension until 2013. So lifetime ban wasn't a lifetime ban. They let him back in. So we see here that the FIA and the Formula One yield and bend in certain cases with certain people to allow corruption to come back into Formula One. So really, is it penalizing, or is it just sitting time out for a little while? We'll let you come back in and get an opportunity to fix another race. Nelson Piquet is a former 80s F1 champion, taking 3 world titles during his career. His son initially proved his talent in GP2 series, taking runner-up in 2006 behind Lewis Hamilton. Lewis has always been great. We know this. Previous to this claim, titles such as the 2004 British Formula 3 champion, becoming the youngest ever driver to do so at 19 years of age, which is pretty good. At this stage, he had also completed several test sessions with Williams. So here we do have Williams kind of involved to some degree. There's a connection there. Renault, Williams, and still now here we have Williams, Latifi crashing to bring the safety car out to allow Max to come up into position, and then Massey removing cars and partially assessing a procedure of unlapped cars, not taking it through its full process, and allowing Max to have the edge on Lewis, who worked his ass off in that race, and pass him to take the world championship. So let's look at this right here. This week, Nelson Piquet Jr. and his father, Nelson Piquet, won their libel suit against Renault F1 at the High Court. Now, Mercedes should have kept their legal situation in play. I do not think they should have taken that off the table. They should have kept that in play. They had been accused by Renault of false allegations and attempts to blackmail the team following events in 2008 Singapore GP. Nelson Piquet Jr. was ordered to crash to assist Fernando Alonso to win the race. Alonso now drives for BWT or Alpine. He is still in Formula One. This tells you what they are going to do about Max. Max's assumption is basically a receiver of what happened. It's not to say that he himself was involved in the fixing. So as far as you all thinking that he's going to get stripped, I never think that's going to happen, okay? Renault F1 have issued a formal apology and awarded the father and son compensation, all right? Money. They offered them money because they were wrong and they were guilty. The scandal first erupted when Piquet Jr. was released by Renault. Now, remember what I'm telling you. Maybe that's why Massey wasn't totally sacked. He wasn't kicked out of the Formula One. He wasn't kicked out of the FIA. Because what happened here is they kicked Piquet out. If you don't kick Piquet out, do you think he maybe does anything else if he keeps his seat? Maybe not. That's why I tell you, and that's why you all are correct when you say Massey's only in because they don't want him to out them. Midway through 2009 season, due to poor performance, this is when the Crashgate allegations first appeared and when Renault F1 launched their case against Piquet, claiming false accusal of crash orders and blackmail in attempt by the young Brazilian to keep his race seat at the team. People, this has happened before and it is happening again. Somebody is going to have to get disgruntled before we really see and hear all of the inner workings of this recent corruption in Formula One. Lewis, it goes out to you, bro. I know I can only imagine what mentally and emotionally you went through. I hope you kick ass in the 2022 season. Max, you know what you got. Not much, bro. You're a fake champion. Not saying that it's your fault that you're a fake champion, but the circumstances that surround you and what led to you becoming the champion, because you know you weren't there. You know for a fact you weren't there. Just like Alonso was running 15th. Without that safety car, he's not there. Without that safety car, Max, you're not there. And you know it. You fucking know it, bro. But it is what it is, right? True. But we're going to see what it's going to be eventually. We already see a little bit, so we're going to see what's going to happen with that. So like I said, big shout out. Sonya, Ian, thank you for watching the channel. I hope you all enjoyed some of this. I know there are going to be assholes down below in the comment section. They're going to be like, oh, you're still crying. Oh, this is fake news. You probably voted for Trump. Then on top of that, you probably voted for another asshole. Do you not see the articles? Have you not done your research? Do you not see that this is a legitimate documentary piece that I'm using to reference? This really happened. So for you to get in my comment section and yell that bullshit, I know you're full of shit. Take a seat, sit your ass down, hit subscribe, hit like, because I know you really like being here. Honestly, you really like being here. I give you something to do with your life. With that being said, you know what I always say, just build it. Peace.